going to do now is I'm going to brown and sear the oxtail. It's called what they call a Maillard reaction, where the sugar, and so it's a reaction you get from browning the meat. The acidity in the sugar kind of seal the flavor in, and usually when you make beef stew or any other stew, you kind of want to dip this lightly in flour and then sear it. But really doing that, it's not going to bring any flavor to the meat. What it does is that it thickens the gravy, the juices. But I don't need that because this is going to be on the burner for about 2-3 hours. So anyway, I just want to get a nice browning and a crust, around the meat. So we have I'm using a heavy non-stick pan. You can use a cast iron pan or whatever you may want. I like this only because so whatever dripping and whatever flavor that falls out of the meat can be collected, and easily and incorporated into the next step of making this dish into the pot. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this sucker on. My fan. You can use any type of oil for cooking this dish, because it's not really that healthy anyway. So you can use whatever oil you want, but it just all depends on the flavor you want. I have this cold pressed olive oil. It's from the Russian store, and it's pretty damn good. I'm going to use this because it just kind of give it an extra flavor. So we're talking about, this is about 2 tablespoons of oil. It's just enough in there to cover the pan. And let the oil heat up a little bit. We're going to brown. Watch out for the splatter. So put in the bigger medallions first. The smaller pieces of the tail are not necessary to brown them. They can go right into the pot. You want to sear them, brown them on each side for about 2-3 minutes, and then you want to turn them over and brown the other side for another 2-3 minutes. So anyway, we're going to flip them for about 3 minutes. So my cameraman sucks.
So mean.
Set aside. Okay. When both sides are brown, nice and brown, just put them aside. Serve that oil. Put on your pot to get back into the main dish. Anyway, mix up. Nice heavy pan, a heavy pot. Now we're going to put in the remainder of the ingredients. Let's see. So this is where what I was saying before about a dash of this and a splash of that's going to come in. I'm going to try to explain to you, just guess about how much I'm going to be using in the other ingredients. It's going to go fast. Anyway, let's see. We got the onions, and here got the chili, turmeric. Use the oil from the searing. And I'm going to add another tablespoon of oil. Mind you, this is not a healthy dish. Okay, now let it heat up a little. It's hot enough to chop onion in there. And now the oxtail seared, the rest of it. Okay, now chili powder. Normally I would start like putting a lot, but you know, for the benefit of you guys out there, it's about, I would say, this is about a tablespoon of chili powder. Okay, if you want, add a little more. I do. About a tablespoon and a half of chili powder. And I guess about this is about 2 teaspoons of turmeric. There's the fish sauce. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you go like this is all about, altogether, I'm saying this is about 1 tablespoon and a half of fish sauce also. Around a bit, then incorporate into the meat. For color and for smokiness, I put in about 2 teaspoons worth. This is that chipotle spicy chili powder I was telling you about. This actually, you don't need much. I imagine about half a teaspoon will actually give you a nice kick. About a teaspoon of salt. If you want more, you can. I'm not a big salt, fan, but again, I'm going to be tasting this throughout the whole process and adjusting the salt and spices as I go to a degree that I want. Here's the one of my little extra addition to the recipe. I like the Madras curry powder, and it's very aromatic, and it's not overwhelming. Like this curry powder is mild enough that it actually lifts and helps lift the flavor from the other ingredients. So, anyway, we'll put in about a teaspoon of it. Incorporate some more, and you can see the chili powder incorporating the meat and it's bringing out a really good aroma. And once the oil started really searing and boiling, what you want to do now is add the mirin, the rice vinegar. And I used the cap to measure it, so this is about a tablespoon. I'm going to add some water into the dish. Just enough to cover the meat. And you're going gonna let this boil over. Put a lid on it to speed up the process. Now, once it starts to boil, then you're gonna lower the heat to medium low, and you're gonna let it simmer for about an hour or two. You know, and then at the end of it, then I'll start adding the other ingredients like vegetables like potatoes and carrots into the